All right, Clint Eastwood as the lovable racist with the big ass gun.
Well, somebody had to bring back Archie Bunker.
With the big ass gun.
Yeah, this is a cross between Archie Bunker and Dirty Harry, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get off of my lawn.
You know, even
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make really weird movements with my mouth, and it's going to scare the shit out of you.
Oh, I know. One of his biggest lines in the movie is, it's like you could have had a dog do this role for half of the movie.
No, but come on, that's Clint Eastwood doing that. And I don't know about you, but I was a little scared listening to him do that. It's Clint Eastwood. When he growls at you, you respond.
Well, at this point, his voice is super gravelly, like way more than it's ever been.
Yeah,
He sounds like Batman.
Well, I was going to say, like, if I may make my customary Batman reference, everybody gives Christian Bale a hard time because we're sounding talking like this. But the Dark Knight in the comics was based on Clint Eastwood, and now Clint Eastwood actually sounds like Christian Bale in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, they could have put a cowl or a mask on his ass and have him go and fight these games.
And yet he's so awesome at times during this film. There's a scene where he gets out of a pickup truck and he looks at these guys and goes, you know, every once in a while you run across somebody you shouldn't have fucked with. You know, that's me.
And there's even a part in the movie where he's like, a Jew, a black guy, and a Chinese guy walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Get the fuck out!" and people just they don't really laugh. They just look at him, just like, I don't know if he's serious or if I'm supposed to laugh at this. But that sums his character up pretty well right there. And so in this movie, this is pretty much now everybody thinks that this is Clint Eastwood's answer to Dirty Harry. Like, he's going out Dirty Harry style as an old man. But this is actually an anti-Dirty Harry movie. At least that's the way I saw it. Kind of anti-gun movie.
I saw it as the next logical step from Unforgiven, which he did about it's coming up in almost 20 years now.
Yeah,
really.
Where it's a film that's all about how violence begets violence, and that it's almost kind of like an apology for his entire career of playing these revenge-getting guys. And here's this guy who really should get revenge, and you want to feel it, but you're not quite sure how he's going to go about it. And it's done in such a clever, wonderful way, but it's got such a great, profound message. It's a really, really great film.
Well, unbelievably, I completely agree with everything you just said. You really nailed that. I think it is true. It is the Dirty Harry version of whatever the Western one.
Unforgiven.
The Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Where it's like he is saying, yeah, maybe I got a little too carried away there with the whole promotion of violence, which is odd because this is a very violent film in and of itself. But it's saying, this isn't always the best way to solve problems.
Yeah, no. And so in the movie, Clint Eastwood we say he's a lovable racist. He's Walt Kowalski. Which is funny because he's a Polar himself. So
he's
well, that's probably why he's so mean, because he's had jokes played on him or talked about him all his whole life.
Yeah.
Well, now you talk about him being a racist, but one of the things in the movie, as the movie develops, you see that that's how he interacts with everybody.
His own children.
It's not so much that he's racist as much as he finds racial humor really funny.
He's much like us.
If I knew somebody like that who, quantified everything down to race, quite possibly I would consider him somebody that I do a podcast with. But no, he goes and he talks to his friends that way. He sees, there's one of my favorite lines from the movie is, he's hanging out with the lovable barber.
The Italian barber.
Yeah, the Italian barber who's cutting his hair. He's like, how much? $10. What? When did you become half Jew? And he goes to such a great length that it's almost a parody of this kind of guy.
he's fine talking like that with his friends as long as they're not black, Asian, or Hispanic. But
he'll say to his face to people who are of those races insulting things. And I think part of it is that he just hates everybody. Well, it's funny with his friends, and with those people, it's just a way to get them the fuck away from him.
I don't think he hates everybody. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, he generally, his outset is to not like people because they're a waste of time and they're stupid. So yeah, he'll say that to him.
Well, yeah.
He don't give a damn, how you feel about him or what he says. And the funny thing to me is, you see the trailer and you go like, man, he's going to get revenge. This is going to be awesome. An action flick. I found this to be more of a comedy than anything else.
No, it is very funny. I mean, throughout the whole movie, and we can kind of predict where it's going. I mean, it's rated R, but it really is one of those movies where, hey, it is the lovable bastard with a heart of gold. He's pissed. His wife is dead. He's been through a lot of shit through Vietnam and
Korea.
Korea. I'm sorry. And now you got these people who move next door when he's been in the Korean conflict. we got these people that remind him of the people he killed back during that war.
Chinaman.
Is that what he calls them? Does he call them Chinaman?
No. Well, he tries to pronounce the Hmong, although the girl keeps correcting him. No, it's Hmong. It's like, well, then why is there a goddamn H in there?
Well, all he sees are slanty eyes next door, and he does not like it. That's the last thing that he needs, is these people bringing this other culture, because he feels like they're all bringing down the neighborhood. On top of that, you got other ethnic types who are moving into the neighborhood that are bringing it down. However, when trouble starts brewing next door, when this gang starts harassing these two kids, he can't help but break down and try to help them out. And that's where we get this whole thing of this guy who originally we were not supposed to like. We see that he really is a good guy.
Yeah, he starts warming to these people as human beings in a way he can't even do with his own children, who admittedly are ungrateful bastards.
Oh, okay. I just want to say, like, they show his children as being ungrateful bastards, but I'm sorry. If any of you ever grew up with a father like that, much like myself, I understood where his children were coming from, because he was a cantankerous old asshole who was hard to deal with.
He is the guy, the cliche of the guy sitting on the porch with a shotgun full of rock salt yelling at kids to get out of the
it's
yard.
funny to laugh at that guy unless you have to live with him, and then that shit ain't funny at all.
Well, no, and that's what's so great about this film is you can feel for them, and at the same time you feel for Walt and why he even admits that's like one of his biggest sins in life. One of the things he feels bad about is that he didn't raise his sons right.
Now, one of the downsides here, though, while we're saying all this stuff is good, one of the things that doesn't really work, or at least not for me, was the acting performance of the people next door. A lot of the Asians over there. There's one guy. What's his name? B. Vang.
That's an actor. Yeah, I don't even ask him to pronounce his Tang Town.
He plays the kid that Eastwood's character first meets, but because he tries to steal his car, but he's only doing it because he's kind of being forced into it by the local Asian gang. Yeah, and they form this sort of father-son type of mentor relationship. But that guy's just not very good.
Well, I was going to say, man, I mean, really, I think Clint Eastwood in this movie is awesome.
Yes.
But everything else I thought was kind of low grade. I mean, even the story's kind of predictable, but the acting, it was almost like this was like a final project from the Clint Eastwood acting school, and he just got like his students to do this as their final exam. But the whole time, rather than holding back, he was just showing them up the whole time.
The only actor who really, kind of stuck in my craw a bit was the priest, who
I liked him.
No. The thing is whenever he had a powerful emotional line or a great comedic moment,
Father Janovich,
he nailed it. He nailed it, and he was fantastic. All of his jokes work. All of his really strong punctuation moments are great. Any of the throwaway lines feel stiff and awkward. Not like the character's supposed to be stiff and awkward, but the actor didn't know what to put there because there was no emotion. Like, hey, Walt, how you doing? It's like, who is this guy? And then he nails this perfect speech, and you're like, oh, he's great, except at these moments when he doesn't know where he's going.
The parts that would be easy for anyone else to just act like a normal person, he's like,
It's funny
hello?
because that came across to me as like when you have to go approach somebody who is hard to deal with. You're just not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, Walt, how's it going? But then you remember the oath you made to his wife. So like, all right, maybe make one more motivational speech to him.
Hi there, Walt.
Look, I'm not a friend of yours. Why do you insist on calling me Walt?
Sorry? Mr. Kowalski.
What are you peddling today, Padre?
Nothing. Thought I'd drop by and see how you're doing. I haven't seen you in church in a while.
Well, now that you've done your good deed, why don't you just take off down the road?
I'd really like to talk, Mr. Kowalski.
Not in this lifetime, Sonny.
Why? Do you have a problem with me, Mr. Kowalski?
You don't want to know.
No, I do.
Well, I think you're an overeducated 27-year-old virgin who likes to hold the hands of old ladies who are superstitious and promises them eternity.
Yeah, he was a priest, and the actor's name is Christopher Carley. He's great, and he really is great balancing against the meanness that Clint Eastwood shows, because when Clint Eastwood